Happy Sunday, everybody. I hope all going well and the roast is in the oven and you're ready for lunch and all of those sorts of things that one would normally do on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, let's get straight into the 8-race program for you. We've got Daryl Marie and Darren Burrows with me. Chat about what the card looks like, try and get some Sunday money. And for those of you that don't know, we're on Twitter at Weighted to Win. We've also got a WhatsApp number that you can join us that's on the screen at any given time. All right, the opener, 3-1 the fields, but the 8 races, so it's a later start, so it gives you a bit of an opportunity. It's around 10-1, and 3-1 on Friday about number 7, Heart Eternity for Erica Verdeniz and Gavin Lorena. That combination is often formidable. 1, Gregarious Gal is 4-1 second favourite, and number 8, Radu 11-2 as the next in the market. So with Darren. Hi, Darren. How's it going? And what does this Sunday card look like?
It looks like a nice card. Obviously, our best bets come later in the card, pretty much the last race. But starting in race 1, I thought this Heart of Eternity. Now, so there was a fair debut behind Let's Cruise. I think we saw Silver Mensa come out of there to win on Thursday. And last time out, a bit of a below-par performance. But I think she's going to come on from that run. I've included 1, 4, 7, 8, 11 in no real particular order.
Okay. Well, we want to survive bypots here, so have you worked something out?
Yeah, a bit for horses, Clyde. I don't like the look of the race. Heart of Eternity has to reproduce her debut effort. Her second start was below par. Tsitsikamma Pearl looked extremely well going to the start last time out. She got into the race very late. If you like her, Radu has to be expected. Very little separating the two of them on form line.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Gregarious Gull. Now, this filly has been very, very disappointing and costly, Clyde. But her last start was very eye-catching in that the fact that she got left 4 lengths at the start, she made up a lot of ground towards the outside running rail and then just faded late. And I'm expecting her to reverse the form with Tsitsikamma because she is 2.5 kilograms better off. And I'm just hoping she jumps on terms this time around. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her in the winner's enclosure.
Okay, we see JP van der Merwe is now riding Gregarious Gal, currently 4-1. It's a bipod, it's open, it's the kind of race really where I think you need to be, the boys are right, you need to be safe here. I'm not sure you can have a single horse. At 1, 4, 7, 8, we're going with all 4 of them. Then we're bankering the 2. Well, Daryl is anyway Cape Lights as his bank in the second leg. He bankers the 10 National Star in the third leg. Then 3, 4, 5. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And at the back, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. Second race on the card. Let's get on. It's a maiden class field. It's over 1,600 metres. And I know Daryl Marie's got something quite special for us here. Hopefully as special as Argo Alley that we tipped in the course of the week. That unreal how that Daryl just didn't shorten. I mean, it shortened, but it didn't shorten because we made it a certainty, didn't we?
We did. But, you know, it's easy afterwards, Clyde. I also made Celtic Rumours a good thing. But race 2 at turffontein. Have a nibble. Get stuck in number 2, Cape Lights.
Did you get messages with Celtic Rumours? What happened?
I did. Not a beep after Argo Alley one.
No one said a word.
Not a word. But after Celtic Rumours got beat,
the
phone didn't stop. Death threats, you name it.
Death threats on top of it.
But
all right.
Celtic, that's in the past now. Let's touch on Cape Lights.
It was too short for Celtic, let's be honest.
Yeah, I thought she had the class to overcome that. But anyway, Clyde, Cape Lights. A mate of mine said she'll start 5-2. I said she'll start 7-10, deep in the red. On form, she's very close to a penalty kick. We saw Lady Regent frank that form line. We saw horses 4 and 5 lengths behind her frank that form and won very convincingly in their next starts in Pomazelas and Midnight Crystal. I like the fact that she's coming back to a mile. I think with luck in running, you can do the banking.
We can do the banking, as you heard. About this particular event. Okay, so let's take a look at what the story is with regards to Darren firstly. Darren, you were on side with us in terms of with regards to Argo Alley when we made it a good thing, but you had your doubts about Celtic. You were also unsure. What's your take on Cape Light?
Yes, Clyde, this filly should be closer to even money, 8-10. Her form lines speak for itself. That second behind Lady Regent, they challenged each other at the 200 and they pulled well clear of the rest of the field. The form lines have all been franked, and surely this filly's going to get it right finally. She's overdue a maiden, and this is the right type of race.
Okay, we heard it from both guys. There's the confidence. Here's the PA. Let's get that up now. For race 2, you need to be on by 25 past, and Daryl is bankering Cape Lights, as Darren will be doing the same, bankering National Star in the next leg. And then those are the numbers you can just jot down, and whilst you're taking that down, I can tell you, if you want to know, that right at the back is bankering number 1, Celestial City, in this PA. National Star on Friday traded 11 to 10. That's number 10 on the card. It's pick 6 time. We need to get that up. Second choice in the market is number 2, Broadway, who's at 4 to 1. And then you can get as much as 8, 9, 10 to 1 about the rest of the runners here. Hard to beat National Star, Mr. Burrows.
Very hard to beat, Clyde. But, you know, when a horse has had 9 starts in the maidens, I always get a bit wary because they always got excuses. So for that reason, I've included horses like Camley Court, third run after rest, blinkers on, Sky Jet, a nice roughie, Broadway, and Spring Will Come. National Star, definitely the horse to beat, should take a power of beating. I've played the safe route.
You played the safe route, okay. So I suppose that's reasonable. You don't want to go out the first leg of the pick 6 ever. But what do you say?
Clyde, I love her. You know, last time out, we liked the winner, Clyde, Windwater. I don't know if you recall calling that. You did.
Yes.
This filly got left 3 or 4 lengths at the start.
Yeah.
But more importantly, Clyde, this filly was rested for quite a few months. She was never, ever moving well. And when I saw her move down to the start last time out, I said she's a danger to Windwater because she's a different filly. And have a look at her form.
She moved very well, didn't she, last time?
She moved lovely down to the start. She's run to Climate Control, Grinkov, Shoemaker. So with 53.5 to shoulder, she gets that 6 allowance and she gets the apprentice allowance. I think if she jumps on terms, that's what's key.
Yeah.
She should go very close to winning. So I'm happy bankering her in the PA and the BACKPOT, as you've seen. I think one horse that you want to play around with trifectas and quartets is number 7, Bronze Sword. It wasn't the greatest of comebacks when he was having his first starts as a gelding, but he was out of his ground and he stayed on. I expect him to be closer to the pace, and being by Silvana, I don't believe we've seen the best yet.
Yeah.
So for me, banker 10, 7, the floater with the trifectas.
Okay. All right, well, the basis of National Star is that the horse just stood. You watch to go back and watch the race. Just stood in the gate, lost 4 or 5 lengths, and then had to switch to the inside to make a run. I think that horse Windwater is well above average. I think that's a very nice horse. One very impressively. And franked the form. All right, so guys, here's pick 6. As Darren said, he likes National Star very much, but he's, it's a conservative play because you don't want to go out the first leg of the pick 6. If there's a scratching and you like National, always add the scratching in if you're going extra runner so you can double up. There's the pick 6 worked out, and banker the one right at the back from Darren Burrows' side. He says that's going to be the one to beat. And once again, just a reminder, that banker number 1 is Celestial City. Okay, it's a jackpot opportunity, 5 to 2 the field. Unzen is back in the race here. Robbie Sage and Caden Brewer, the team up, priced up currently at 5 to 2. That's number 3 on the card. 4 raffles is at 3 to 1. And Moosey's riding raffles. And number 5, Golden Prospect, is trading at around 7 to 2. That's the way the market looks right now. Darren, let's hear from you. Unzen, raffles, which do you prefer?
I've gone 3, 4, and 5 in my pick 6. Unzen, now last time out with the blinkers on, he over-raced completely over the mile. So the drop back and trip, they're going to go faster, and he should settle into a rhythm. You'll see a big bounce back to form. Golden Prospect, having his peak run, third run after rest, third to Royal Victory last time out. He's run 5 lengths off the likes of Cousin Casey. He comes in here well in, and raffles can't be ignored. So 3, 4, and 5 should get you through.
Okay, interesting. It's a good race because it does represent Dingon's form. Yeah, what do you think, Daryl?
Yeah, nice little lineup, Cloud. Limited, but some quality over here. I think the market's going to change. I believe Golden Prospect is going to start closer to favourite come race time. Just based on the fact that he's having his peak run in a lot of... This race is basically set up for him. You can ignore his penultimate start. He was sweating up terribly. He overdid things. And then last time out, he went to the head of the fairs. Maybe with a slightly more patient ride, we'll see a better effort. But that he was far from disgraced. Then Unzen, strictly on ratings, he's the horse to beat. He's 3.5 kilograms best in of a year. He has been rested and gelded, or gelded at least. He's been off for 57 days. Right. So on weights, you can't ignore his chances. And then Raffles. I mean, Starcoin won from that form line. Aravedicho ran second. I think he came out and ran second in the Tony Ruffle. He's got a tricky draw to contend with. If he gets a little bit of luck in running, he is talented, this horse, Clyde. He's got ability. So I like this race. For me, in order 5, 4, 3.
Okay.
And then touching on Houston, he has been gelded now. Take note, Clyde. On the ratings, he's got his work cut out. But this horse has got ability.
Okay. So that's the plan in terms of which way we want to go. Race number 4, we've got a jackpot from the boys, and this is what it looks like. It's going 3, 4, 5, 6. So Unzen, Raffles, Golden Prospect and Houston are all in the first leg of the jackpot. It rests between those. Then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. And then 1, 3, 9, 10. It's a 400 Rand for jackpot 1. Welcome back. It's a reminder about our social media opportunities. If you'd like to get involved with us, at Waited to Win on Twitter. Also, there's the WhatsApp number. Please join us. Send your name and email address, and we'll get information to you as promptly as it comes out and keep you in the play. In this particular race, let's take a look. We've got Anfield's Rockets back in Gauteng, priced up 22 to 10. Raymond Danielson's riding that for the Grant Maroon stable. Very decent sort of that, there's no doubt. Impressive horse. 7 Sheldon's the second choice at 7 to 2, and 3 Constables 11 to 2. Mercantor's also back in the race, 13 to 2, and then on Friday you can get 10, 11 to 1 about anything else that is in this race. Let's talk about the favourite, Darren. Decent horse.
Very good horse. He's got an electrifying turn of foot. The 1,000 meters may be a little bit sharp, but I think he can get away with it. The 2 draw could be the only concern. I do favour the outside draws down the straight, but definitely the horse to beat. He'll take a lot of beating. Dangers, I would include Retallick. He's having his peak run. Good fourth behind Flower Bomb. Mozieni in the saddle. Mercantor, Constable also got chances, but I think Anfield's Rocket could come back with a bang.
Okay. Obviously tried the Guineas, the Cape Guineas, and not the best of draws. Didn't find his best form. And what's your view on the 1,000?
It might be on the sharp side for him, Clyde. He's got the ability. There's no doubt. I think he's way too short in the market.
What, 22 to 10? Yeah.
There's no value about that. Not concerned about the draw as Darren is, because he doesn't have that early toe. So Raymond can just opt to move him to the outside. He's not going to... I don't think that's going to be a negative. Retallick, nice improvement in his second run after arrest. I think he's a live wire over here. Mercantor, I fancied him last time out. Should certainly have run into the money. He encountered traffic problems in the at a crucial stage of the race. If you like his chances, Sheldon's holds him on paper. And then Constable back in a handicap. He hasn't been well treated in those plated races. So I really believe this race is a little bit more open than what the betting suggests. But I'm certainly not saying that Anfield Rocket can't win, Clyde. Let's get that straight.
It's interesting, Grant opted to go with the 1,000. I'm not sure if there was another opportunity. I don't know. But, 22 to 10 perhaps is too short.
Do you think it's strange that Caden's not riding him?
Interesting. I don't know what the reason is. We'll find out closer to race time. Keep watching For Racing TV because our guys on course will get all of those answers for you, of that there's no doubt. Okay, let's get the second jackpot. Is it a second jackpot that we're putting up? We are. It comes from Darren, where he's saying, you know what, this horse might just be good enough. He's loaded with ability. Banker the 6, field in the second leg. Looking to get a result there, but 1-9-10 in the third leg. And at the back, we're hoping that Celestial City wins the last. Back with us. Welcome. Race number 6. Let's chat about the race. Darren, I know in your play you go on field here, so obviously for you, anything can win.
Clyde, in the jackpot, I went the field, but the pick 6, I went 6 runners. I thought Kiss Me Captain. This filly wasn't striding out last time out. Go back 2 runs, over 1,000 meters, which was a bit too sharp for her. She got beat half a length by Flower Bomb, and now she's 3.5 kilos better off. So I think Kiss Me Captain, if bouncing back, she's definitely a runner. You've got to include Flower Bomb. You can include Southern Skies, course and distance winner by 7 lengths. And then going to the class horses, Sweet Pepper, blinkers on. I'm hoping that she improves. She's a grade 1 winner. Maharani having a comeback run. As last time out, she didn't really race. She dropped a jockey. And Miss Daisy's not out of it. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah, and Gallivanting's a horse that's also got ability as well. So it could be that sort of race where anything can win. This, of course, being the Swallow Stakes. It's listed over 1116 metres. Daryl, your first choice?
Yeah, I just watched Gallivanting move down to the start. A little bit iffy. Not for me until I see her striding more comfortably, Clyde. Flower Bomb, jeez. Did you watch her latest victory, Clyde?
I watched.
What a ride.
Excellent.
Marco knows extremely well. He knows what to do. If it was 1,000 meters, I would be overly bullish. But I'm a little bit worried about the 1160 because she just needs to drop her head and settle because she certainly has that turn of foot required. So I'm still gonna favor her. Southern Skies, thrown in a little bit in the deep end last time out. A lot of people expected her to win, but you know what? Dice is well above average. She was far from disgraced. Dice came out and ran second in the WSB Grand Heritage. Now that form line has been franked with several winners from there.
Yeah.
She's back up the turffontein 1160 straight where she won her debut over. Very impressive on that occasion. So if I was pushed into a corner, I'd say 5 and 7. And then Sweet Pepper with the blinkers on. Disappointing last time out. I expected more from her. But I don't believe the race stops there.
Yeah, I think there are quite a few in a race like this. There are a number. Yes, Flower Bomb, excellent ride. Actually, although only won a length or so, actually one full of running. Came from last and burst through and one full of run. So who knows? A kind of race that, well, let's see how it rolls. There are a few, and there are a couple that are certainly from the trainers that they rate very, very highly. Let's take a look at what the boys want to do. This race, it gives us the exacta opportunity where Daryl's recommending we go with the 1 Sweet Pepper, the 5 on the card, certainly not out of it, Flower Bomb, and the 7 Southern Skies. So, how good are these horses that run in the Sea Cottage? We'll see what they do with each other. They take them on over 1,800 metres. It's a 250,000 Rand Group 3 event. And, well, the fields that's been attracted, talented. They're going to give you an idea of what we're talking about here. None other, number 9 on the card, tops the boards at 5-2, but shares that position with Bonetta for Michael de Kock at 5-2. Lucky Udalakas, they're in form too. 1 Billy Bowlegs. Nice horse, Alec Laird's horse, 5-1, and the 3 Pragmatists for Jan Janssen van Vieren is 5-1. Perhaps the Azzy horse not out of it either. Horse like African Torrent, who's at 9s, and Tyron Zaki might tell you that Gavin Lorena will win it with Otto Lucan. So, Darren, let's hear from you.
Clyde, I fancy this filly Bonetta quite strongly. Last time out, she was giving Pragmatist 2.5 kilos. And now she receives 2.5 kilos from Pragmatist. I think this filly's heading to the tops, and I think it's a great price at the moment. So Bonetta, take the double into Celestial City, and also box the trifecta. Bonetta, none other, and Billy Bowlegs. I don't see anything else troubling those 3 runners.
Okay. Interesting, very confident coming from Darren about Bonetta. Your take on her?
I've got respect for her, Clyde. Gutsy in her latest victory. On paper, she certainly does hold Pragmatist, but I'm not too sure Keegan's going to be as confident as what he was on Pragmatist last time out. It looked like he thought he had the race in the bag. Maybe if he just gets a little bit busier earlier, he could certainly get closer, but the weights don't favour his chances to reverse that form. Clyde, have a look at the best weighted column. The fillies are favoured over here because of their 2.5 kg sex allowance. So none other comes up trumps. Strictly on form, none other holds Bonete on the run beyond Emregina. I think that was in the fillies mile, but Boneta was having her second start, so she was she probably has more scope for improvement. So certainly wouldn't be a shock to see her reverse that form with none other. And Billy Bowlegs, I thought that was a nice one last time out in the heavy conditions. So I'm not ruling him out of here. He's third best weighted. And I think that stable's come to form. So not as bullish as Bonetta is what Darren is, but yes, she's in with a very big shout.
Okay, so the best, I think, what's the right wording here? The most progressive horse in the race may well be Bonetta for Mike de Kock and Randall Simons. One with a lot of courage last time. She'll come on from that run. And here's the recommendation in terms of what do we want to do. Darren doesn't want to know. He says Bonetta may well be going to the tops. So we'll end this Sunday afternoon with a classified stakes run over 1,800 metres. We've all been talking about this horse, Celestial City. The guys have been bankering. I'm going to come to Daryl Marie first because I think he's also confident. Ran behind African Torrent last time. Haven't been any runners from that form line at all. Maybe too soon. It was only on the 5th of January. But in that was Top Sail and Foreign Field and Sequoia, those sorts of horses. In the comparative, I don't know what you would make of it on a like-for-like basis.
Clyde, all I can say is to Sean Terry, well done for finding this race for Celestial City, because this is a perfect race for him to notch up his second victory. His post-maiden efforts haven't been bad whatsoever. He's been holding form well. By Silvano, so well bred. More to come, Clyde. I know at the weights, the best weighted column, he doesn't feature. But if he can't beat the likes of Devilish Dancer, Last Year, Son of Raj, Follow My Path, and Black Lightning, who are all better weighted than him, I think we're going to be in trouble, Clyde. Last time out, should have, he had a little bit of excuses. The jock lost the crop. He's got the perfect draw, track and trip suited, a nice horse to have a go on.
You like it strong?
Very strong.
Strong, okay. Strong from Darryl.
Very strong.
Very strong. No, careful what you say now. Yes. We don't want that phone lighting up again.
I can take it, Clyde. I've been doing this for many years. So
I understand.
When I get it wrong, I get it wrong. I take it on the chin.
Sure. Well, at least you're brave enough to come on TV and tell everybody. Let's talk about, go to Darren Burrows. Darren, you're Celestial City, because I know you bankered that in your pick six, so you must be as bullish.
Yes, Clyde, I think he should be 7 to 10, 6 to 10 in that region. He's currently 13 to 10. And on that last effort beyond African Torrent, who is running in the Sea Cottage Stakes, in a classified stakes, Celestial City, I think he'll absolutely romp home in this field.
All right, well, that's good news. The last race on the card today, Celestial City told to romp home in this field. You heard from the boys, they're both very confident. And let's hope we can end our Sunday afternoon or weekend on a high note. All right, that's it. Here we go. What's the plan? Comes straight out of both. They're both on Celestial City. That's why it's not either a Darren or a Daryl. It's a waiter to win.